Hey everybody, it's Artist Avery here to give you guys my review of Fate Extella and the Umbro Star. Now, Fate Extella is brought to us from XE Games and Marvelous Studios. Now, the really cool thing about Fate Extella is that it's actually based off of the popular anime and manga franchise. So those who are really big fans of it, you're definitely going to be in for a lot of fun. On top of that, the main gameplay components of it is that this is actually like a button mash action game, similar to the Dynasty Warriors franchise. But while being similar, it's very different. In fact, since we're talking about it, let's just jump into this review and show you some footage. So jumping right into the gameplay footage of Fate Extella, I'm going to talk a little bit about the story. Now, within the story, the Holy Grail War is completely over, and you as the master wake up and find yourself within this digital world known as Seraph. Now, it's in Seraph where you find yourself, and it's made clear that you're to fight for control. And as you're doing so, you're doing this while trying to understand the world and also uncover the unique mystery within the game. Now, as you're playing the main story, it's actually going to be broken down into three unique perspectives. These perspectives are actually going to be based on the three new characters that have been added to the game. Those three characters are going to be the two Saber class servants being Atera, then you also have Nero, and your last one is going to be a caster known as Tamamo Name. So these three characters are just the new ones that appear in the game. However, you do have a unique cast of returning characters from the Fate series that make their appearance in the game. Now, since this is again based on the Fate series, all the characters are all going to be based on the classes within the game. So those classes are going to be your Saber, Lancer, got your Archer, Assassin, a Rider class, Ruler, and you also have a Caster and a Berserker. So within those nice little 8 classes, you're definitely going to come across not only a nice group of characters, but unique abilities for each of them as well. So this is definitely going to add into the fun of the game as you really get to understand the easy controls of it, but it's also mastering the unique abilities of these characters. Now, since the game is definitely similar to the Dynasty Warriors franchise, you're definitely going to be have the easy controls, and the main premise as you're on the battlefield is really just to dominate each of the sectors. And you want to do this to fill up a unique gauge known as your regime matrix. Once you fill this up, it's actually what allows for you to summon, of course, the boss servant. You defeat him, and you beat the game. Now, the regime matrix is a really unique component that's really different from all the other games within the button mash hack and slash action genres, such as your Dynasty Warriors games. The reason I bring that up is because within the regime matrix, as you're going because all the sectors, essentially, if you don't fill up or conquer enough sectors, you ultimately just lose the game. That's a really big thing. Death is not really a big part of the game since you're playing as servants and you have command skills that allow for you to revive that character. But the biggest thing is if you end up losing all your sectors and your opponent has complete control of the game, that is literally the guaranteed lose right there. Which is really interesting because as you're trying to collect and conquer these sectors, each of them are given a unique value. And its value is typically 1 through 4. Of course, taking over the ones that has the higher value, being like a 4, is something that will give you more points within your regime matrix. So, with it being nice and simple, the main objectives is there, but you're also going to be given a couple of nice little side objectives, such as being certain opponents at a certain particular time, or you have to defeat or take down a barrier within the game. And while dealing with the side objectives for that actual battle or stage, you can also decide before jumping into the game, choosing unique missions as well. You usually choose up to about 5 missions. And these missions are typically going to be based on some of your servants that you're already unlocked. So once you've completed those missions, the reward for it is that you increase your bond with them. And that's going to be a really important thing because If you as you increase your bond with each of the different servants, it's actually going to give you the opportunity to add more upgrades and make your character a little bit stronger. So you definitely have a lot in there, a lot within the game that would give you the opportunity to really just go crazy and take out hundreds and thousands of opponents. And the controls for the game just is really nice, something that you can easily jump into. It's really just broken down into really just three simple buttons. Your quick or normal attacks, you have your charge or strong attacks, even your specials. And these three are again designated to their own separate button, making it easy for everyone to jump into the game, have fun, play without really thinking too much on what's the next thing to do, what's the next button to press. But I do definitely want to jump into those specials because that's going to be the really big thing that sets the Fate Extella game apart from like the Dynasty Warrior franchise. As you have about 3 unique specials within the game. You have your standard special known as the EM or your Extella maneuver. Each of that essentially will allow for you to really just chain up big combos and devastate like thousands of opponents within one blow. Then you also have what is known as your Moon Cruise or your Moon Drive. Depending on which character that you have, usually the 3 new characters are the ones that can transform into the Moon Cruise form, while all of the returning characters within the game just have what is known as the Moon Drive. Essentially, the difference between it is one looks a lot cooler than the other, but the benefits are still the same, which is increased strength, and you're actually able to break the defense of anyone that's guarding, which is really perfect if you're going against boss servants who are literally defending and guarding just to make sure they can hold on to the little bit of health that they have left. And then the last one is going to be the all-time signature for Fate franchise, which is the Noble Phantasms. Those are definitely going to be the biggest thing within the game. They have to set up where there's going to be 3 unique circuits you have to pick up. Those 3 pieces are going to be scattered across the stage. Once you actually picked up all 3 of them, you're actually able to call in your Noble Phantasm. And this is where things get extremely fun, amazing, because you now have the opportunity to call in your ultimate special and literally just do high amounts of damage to your opponents. And it is probably the best way to end the game of all time because of just the amazing flashiness of it and just how cool it really is. And the game does really good and really giving us the opportunity to play as some of our characters and really activating those Noble Phantasms. So really good stuff right there. All in all, I think that kind of really just like knocks out what the game overall covers. It doesn't really have too much in there, but the gameplay value in it is pretty good. As you're able to do upgrade your characters, level them up, even purchase unique equipment to heal or boost up your character stats while in battle. So the game is definitely going to be something that you can continue to play and also enjoy unique perspectives from all the characters within the game. Okay, so that definitely wraps up the nice little review for you guys. So, what do you guys think? For me personally, Fate Extella was an okay game. One of my biggest issues with the game is the story content in it. I spent more time actually dealing with the story prompts than actually playing the game. When I say more time, I'm on like 25-30 minutes of dealing with the story and about 5 to 10 minutes of actually playing the game itself. So for me, that was a pretty big detractor. On top of that, the AIs were really simple. It doesn't really seem that they're all that involved in trying to take out your life. And this is even while putting them on the hard settings as well. And another big thing was just the level design. However, while talking about the cons, the game does have some really strong benefits to it. For those who are looking to add this to your overall Fate collection because you're a big fan, I think it's a really nice piece to add into it. On top of that, with it having such easy controls, it's something you can jump into without feeling overwhelmed by the button commands or you having to do a whole bunch of stuff within the game. And then on top of that, you have a large cast of characters. The characters, again, follow the anime and the manga series, so you're definitely able to connect with some of the new characters along with the returning characters from previous series as well. Okay, now if you guys definitely are looking to have longer content, definitely check out my 1 hour gameplay video. You can get check that out on the link below, or you can check on the nice little button that's going to appear at the end of the video. Okay. Now, if you guys definitely found this to be really helpful, definitely push the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. But if you have an opinion in the game or you just want to talk about it, definitely comment. I would definitely love to talk to you guys a little bit more about the Fate Extella game. And then also subscribe, and that subscribe would just help you guys get notified of future videos. Okay. So again, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to check out my review. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.